Hello guys. Well, it's time again to start some Enter the Gungeon. And as you can see, first thing we're gonna do is we're gonna start with a new save. So you guys have probably seen me stream this quite a bit actually. It's probably one of my favorite games I've ever played, and it's definitely something that I'm gonna get into at another pace. This is our third save on this PC and stuff. So everything's gonna start with basically from nothing. I wanted to do a series. I wanted to do a YouTube series. Kind of want to check things out. Zeros are for chumps. Yeah, we're not doing this. Ha ha ha! You're right. Enjoy your imminent demise. And I figured this would probably be the best way to sort of just get some talks in, get some good some good just banter between myself and I tend to talk to myself quite a bit, and I think there's something to say about the fact that it's nice to just have like an hour or so to ourselves to just chat. And I know there's a lot of people out there that listen to something like this. People are fans that we already have. I'm talking to you guys. You guys have probably already listened to this, but if you find this and this is new to you and you're just looking for somebody to play Gungeon, well, I play Gungeon quite a bit. I stream it very regularly, and it's something that I definitely want to continue to do for a long time. I know that Dodge Roll we're thinking about coming out with a new game soon. I think they're going to do another update after this. This is for if you guys are watching this, it's January 1st, 2019, and I told myself I'd put out more stuff so that people can watch while I'm not streaming. Even though I stream a lot. I stream like a lot. But I stream like late night, so there's a lot of Americans that don't really get to watch us too often. There's a red chest. We're gonna probably come back to that. And I do play a lot of Gungeon during those times, but at the same time, I know that there's a lot of people all around the world that don't really get to catch up with the live streams. And for some reason, I always feel like, because I feel this way. This is how I watch videos and stuff like that too. I don't really watch full live streams back, just because it's one of those things where, as much as you are putting on a very consistent personality, I think that anybody who watches something, you're going to sort of pay attention to things differently, especially when you're watching the chat. And I don't really put chat in my, obviously you don't put them in the VODs, but you can watch Twitch, and I guess you can watch the chat while it's happening. But at the same time, I don't think many people care to do that too much. Plus, if we do like one run at a time, that's like an hour or so, maybe less, hopefully, if I get better at this game even so, that you guys can maybe consume in an hour manner, in like a timely manner, you know? I don't want to sit there for eight or so hours, or probably when we play Gungeon, so like 3 or 4 hours, do like 3 or 4 runs, then we move on to something different. But I play a little bit every day, and we kind of check it out and stuff like that. But anyway, enough of that. I mean, you guys probably, if you're watching this channel, you know exactly what you're getting into. I'm just kind of introducing this series to people who've never seen this before. So we're at the Advanced Dungeons and Dragons section. Like I said, January 1st, 2019. We just started 2019, so Happy New Year, everybody. And this is gonna be from the update on, and then I think, like I said, they're gonna come out with one more update, and then I believe they're working on their new game, kind of like how our friends at Red Hook did. They came out with their last DLC for Darkest Dungeon, and then said, "Hey, we're gonna move on. We're not gonna do this anymore. We're gonna make a new game." Speaking of, there's that new game, Book of Demons, out that is like this RPG kind of dungeon crawly, sort of like a build your own character, but also there's like a million different ways you can play the game, and it was pretty cool. We played it the other day. It was pretty nice. But with that being said, I think so you can get the game like right now for like 60% off or something if you own Darkest Dungeon. Like Steam tracks and they're like, "Hey, you own Darkest Dungeon, here's 60% off this game." And when you boot up the game for the first time, it loads up these pedestals that you sort of see, and it's part of like a bigger lobby, and you're like, "Oh, that means there's going to be like a bunch of different chapters to unlock." At least that's what I thought at first. And then I started looking at it deeper, and I was like, "Oh, it actually looks like these are going to be all separate games." And it makes you wonder, why Darkest Dungeon, or at least Red Hook, gave people the ability to get a discount on that game. I think it has a lot to do with the fact that I think Red Hook's going to try to put their game in that format, because when you load it up, it's like Return to Games is the name of the lobby. It's not even called like, oh, this is Book of Demons, the lobby. It's called something totally different, which makes me think that it's possible that whatever Red Hook's got stored and planned is probably going to be that. It's probably going to be something to do with that, which is pretty interesting, because there's like 7 or 8 pedestals there. Then you have the Book of Demons. Then you probably have something like the Book of Cthulhu or something like that, or Book of something else that's going to be probably somewhat Darkest Dungeon-esque based. And then they'll probably go from there. I have no idea. I have no clue. All I know is it seems like they're going to be working on something now, and considering they're teaming up like that, the only conclusion can be drawn that they're going to be in somewhat of a cooperation. I think that's cool. I think more games should do stuff like that. We talk about games like that all the time, and I think games should do all kinds of things that have to do with collaboration and whatnot, because we're living in a world now where so many companies are doing these weird things where I don't even know if they're weird. They don't necessarily make sense to the way of they're almost pushing away their audience. We're gonna go down to the second floor. We're not even gonna try the omelette this time because it's our first run in the save. Might as well check it out. We're gonna check everything out normally. If people are getting into Gungeon for the first time, this is kind of how things would go. For those who don't know, if you don't take a hit there on any of the bosses, you get this thing called a master round, which is the thing right here. And there's one for each floor, for each boss, and it gives you an extra heart. So it's a good idea not to take any damage on some of these bosses here. And for those that are wondering, I am playing with the controller. That's why we have the little marker there. I talk about this on stream all the time, but basically I play with the controller now because it allows me. I'm on PC. I'm not on PS4 or anything, but it allows me to pay more attention to dodging rather than hitting the enemy. And at the same time, it's like, well, you could do that with your mouse and keyboard, but I think for some reason my hand focusing on shooting, being a player of shooters my whole life, you know, the video game shooters, shoot 'em up, shoot 'em up, shoot 'em up. I've focused on where I want to aim and less about where I'm positioned on a map. But at the same time, you're supposed to pay attention to how you're positioned. It's not nearly as big of a deal as it is in this game. Do I want to? Can I do this? No, it doesn't really matter. We have the little bomber, which I'm probably never going to use again. And as soon as we can trade it in, I'm probably going to. But yeah, I use a controller. I think it's a little bit easier for me. As much as I think a lot of people are against that, I personally really dig the. Oops. Hold on. 1 second. I dig the fact that this game is very controller friendly, and it sounds like they obviously have it on PS4, so it's been optimized to play with a PS4 controller. You could play with an Xbox controller, you can play with any controller you want, but I think it does work better with the PS4 controller. I don't know why. Don't ask me why. It's one of those magical things that they're like, oh, this is just better because it's better. No matter what you say, it's just better to do it this way. It's like when you're reading Twitch chat and they're like, oh, no, this game is actually better than this game, even though they're exactly the same game. Or maybe they're not the same game, and somebody's like, oh, well, no, they're definitely the same game. Haven't you seen them? Is this Minecraft? That's the whole meme. Is this Minecraft? Hello, Minecraft? Hello? Are you playing Minecraft? Why are you playing Minecraft? We get that all the time. Table tech site. Sure. We've got money. We could purchase it. We could probably even purchase the... I wonder how much the little bomber is. I might sell it afterwards. Because we can sell to this little green dude here, but we're not going to. And you know, I think it works well. And this isn't Minecraft for those wondering. I know it's pixelized and there's blocks and stuff like that, but I promise it's not Minecraft. I get that. Is that where did that meme originate from? Is that because Minecraft did something so spectacular and special that people just tried to copy them for a very long time? And it makes sense. I mean, a lot of games tried to do the same style where they have the items on the bar at the bottom, and then you have your first-person perspective, and you go and you build stuff with your blocks and whatnot. You build stuff with your blocks. That's cool. I mean, it was definitely unique. Oh, I walked right into that. is definitely unique in a good style that lasted a while. I know that companies are still using them when developing their games, but I think there's some companies, and I don't know how people feel about it either. Like there's the game Stationeers that's been out for, I don't know if it's been fully released. I think it's still early access, but it's one of those things where it's a game where you like Space Engineers, where you build a ship or you build all kinds of things to survive. You build an atmosphere on like this moon rock, and then I guess there's like Mars too, but you're on a moon rock. You build some space for atmosphere. You build all these things and what have you. But they have things in like hands instead of the bar at the bottom. So it makes it so it's really, really confusing at first, but I think it is somewhat intuitive. But then I watch other people play this game and I'm like, well, it sounds like they don't like it, and I can't tell if it's bad and I'm just trying to accept it because my hipster blood doesn't allow me to not accept things that are different, because I accept all things that are different for some reason. I don't know what it is. I just like things because they're not like everything else, so that it's just the hipster gene, right? And it's a gene that I'll probably pass down to my children, and I think I'm okay with that. I don't know why I wouldn't be. It's like, oh, you're going to be different. Well, and I know it's going to bite me in the ass, too. It's like, oh, you're not different. You're just like every other snot-nosed brat out there. And I think it's going to be for spite purposes. They're going to spite me just by being the same as everyone else. I know my kids are going to do this to me. Because, you know, Katie's the same way. She's like, oh, it's different. It's cool. I like it. You know, we don't. It's the mustache and the glasses might give it away, but I'm very hipster-y. I don't really think hipster is one of those things that people should be ashamed of. They should embrace their hipster because we want to be different. I think as human beings, we're meant to be different along a lot of different ways. We're just gonna take this. We don't really want the other thing anymore. But now Little Bomber actually looks like it might work. All right, where was I? What was I talking about? I was talking about, oh, right, bringing over the Minecraft style of. Oh, this is actually really good. Now we have, okay, Little Bomber actually means something. Good. Minecraft, and having so many people copy the style of how the Minecraft UI worked it's really something to say about what Minecraft actually was for such a long time. And I think it's a good idea to sort of pay homage to something that was so huge. I mean, your boy Notch did a lot of work for. Oh my God, what? I'm not hitting anything. Did a lot of work for the gaming industry, for that matter. He worked with one of the hardest coding languages that there is to work with out there. Java's one of the most primitive, in my opinion, languages like to ever exist. It's actually sort of annoying because I've worked with it a little bit. It's one of the first languages you learn in the university atmosphere when you're going to, learn how to program as a thing. I didn't stick with it very long, and I would probably be willing to say that it has a lot to do with the fact that it was just bad. Also, we're not taking this. The Shield of the Maiden is just terrible, so we're not going to deal with that. I really hate that item. It's probably one of the worst items. I would actually rank that as one of the worst items in the game. But he really paved the way, so might as well just use that. And even if he's not working with Java, he built something that was simple in design. Everything was at the bottom. You just use your scroll mouse to go through them all, and then whatever you wanted on the bottom you can have there. It was a fully customized UI without having to really think about much. It was kind of interesting, actually. But I think there's something to say about the fact that it just works. It just works really, really well. Let's wait until we go through this boss. We actually might get the master round out of this. But then, yeah, like games like Stationeers are trying to change it and stuff like that. And I do applaud them. And I think that they should continue to do stuff like that. I know that it's not going to be easy because I know there's a lot of people that just don't accept things like that. But at the same time, I think if we don't let things like that happen, it's just not going to work. Oh, that's what that was. Okay, we're gonna kill this little baby holster. There, that works. Look at that ricochet. That ricochet was sick. That almost got us killed. Actually, that did get us killed. Great. Well, not killed, but it ruined our run because everything got me all confused. I got a little bit mind flooded, like I'm getting right now. And we got hit twice because I'm running into things. Why am I'm just running straight into them head on? Well, we can't have our first run be the best run of the series. That would just ruin everything, right? But I guess this is just to show you that I'm not a total noob at the game, just that I'm really bad. There's something to say about the fact that I have been practicing and not really doing much progress in the last a long time. It's been a long time, to say the least, since I've actually made real progress in how good I've gotten, because I really haven't gotten much better in a very long time. We'll take these. We'll take the bullet that shoots guns, that shoots bullets. And we should be good to go. Now we're going to take this golden key and unlock an NPC. This should be the main shop at the top floor. Oh, finally. I knew it would be a while before someone came down here, but seriously, it's been forever. Anyway, we should get back to the shop. It's been closed for way too long. You should come by. They're at the top level of the breach. You can't miss it. Thank you for rescuing Mistress Cadence and this one. I will escort her to the breach. Come on, Ox. You're always so slow. Well, I mean, Oxes are slow, man. But why? You can't just comment on people like that. It's just rude. Okay, I think we're good to go. In fact, we could... Well, we have 3 blanks. We could save them. Do I have 2? Yeah, full health. We could save them for the next boss. In fact, I should have used them on this boss, but that's okay. We're just going to move in. So basically what you can do is you can look for secret rooms at the end of those rounds in the floors. You guys already know what I'm talking about, but for those that don't, that's for you guys. I think that no. I think that the gaming industry is going in a very... I feel like an old man when I say this. I feel like the gaming industry is going in a very bad direction. No, but I actually think it's going in a good direction, which is what makes me not an old man, I guess. I think it's cool. I think there's a lot of people that are stepping out of their comfort zones to do things. I think there's a lot of companies that are not stepping out of their comfort zones, but we're not going to name those in this series. We're going to keep it... We're going to talk about real things and stuff. I think we're going to keep it away from saying, oh, this game is bad and this game is bad. Oh, this game just came out, because I know that if I brought up, you guys know what I'm talking about. If I brought up the game that we know as Atlas and I started talking about what I thought of it, when people watch these videos, like several years from now, they're going to be like, dude, what was he talking about? That's like the greatest game to ever exist. He's crazy. What did he see? How bad was this game when it came out? Or people are going to be like, oh, this video is just super dated and this guy is probably old, decrepit, and halfway dead by now, which is probably the case. I may be dead. If you're watching this video now, son, I have died, and you will never survive because you are in the apocalypse that is World War V. Yes, because in the next generation, we're going to have 5 world wars. It might happen. It could happen. You never know. The world goes crazy sometimes. The world has always gone crazy. That's one thing, too, is like, people talk a lot about how the world is just insane. And it's like, well, the world's always been pretty insane, but we've never had access to this type of information. It's like saying, well, when I was in school, their only type of lunch was packed lunch or hot lunch that you had the Red Baron microwave pizza that when you bit into it, you broke half of your jaw. You ever had that? The pizzas were insane. They were insanely hard. They were the giant boat of bread that they put cheap cheese and quarter sliced pepperonis on there, and then they served it to you on a molten hot piece of metal. There's like this weird plastic tin foil stuff. It was insane. I don't know. It was I don't know how that was able to be given to kids, because those melted the roof of my mouth almost every single time that I ever ate those things. And I was like, Mom, can you give me some hot Cheetos and a sandwich so I could take to school? And she never had time. My mom was always, she's always very busy. She's a very busy lady. She worked a lot. She still does work a lot to this day, actually. She's a quite important person at like this food industry. or this, not this food industry, this food processing place, it sells, they sell food, right? They sell food to restaurants and stuff like that, which I always found interesting because my mom's always been the middleman between restaurants and like farms and stuff like that. I guess farms and wherever they just process the food in the first party. So like a lot of people probably think that they're the evil people because they're the middlemen, but then when you talk to these restaurants, they're like, no, you guys saved my life because I don't have to go around to the chicken coop and then to the cow farm and then to the vegetable farm and then to all these places, because they all collect them in one place, and it actually works. This is a black powder. We want to keep our ice grenades. We're not going to do that yet. We're not going to unlock anything right away because we got to finish. We got to see if we can finish a round still. Kill the dragon. We will probably. Well, we're not finished this yet. Let's just move on. Because I mean, I don't know if you've ever tried to open up a restaurant, but I can only assume that it's very difficult. I mean, that's one of those things they tell you. It's one of the most risky businesses to ever get into is the food industry, and just opening up your own restaurant and stuff. I mean, not even do I think it's risky. I think it is risky because of what they say, and you know, they are the people that know all, because they are everything. That's what they say, so you must know. Ooh, we might want the super meat gun. So it's one of those things where you're like, oh, this is the riskiest business in the world. Okay, great. Well, let's go ahead and do that while also making it harder on ourselves by not worrying about the middlemen. I'm not trying to say that, oh, my mom's not an evil person, because she's not. My mom's awesome. Love my mom. And I definitely, I'll call out the evil people when I can. But it just makes life so much more convenient. I'm sure there are some farmers that watch me and listen and stuff like that and probably think the same thing. I don't know if they would get more money, probably per unit, if they sold directly to the restaurants that serve their food or the grocery stores that serve their food. I'm actually sure that they some farms probably sell directly to them, but I don't actually know how they work anymore. I used to work grocery stores and whatnot, but they always came on like Safeway and Albertsons. They always came on their own trucks, so I never even knew where they originated from. So I don't know if they do buy from farms, or if there's like companies like the food service places where they actually do provide a middleman for these sales and stuff like that. First, I mean, it gives people more jobs, I guess, too, which is nice. It makes things a little bit more convenient for the end result, which probably doesn't help with the price of food for the consumer, like you and me, like you and I, because we're just normal people. We're all just normal people. I don't know if it has anything to do with that. It might. It totally could. But I feel like if it wasn't for these middlemen and women, I should be equal. Should be equal here. Gosh, Dan, it's 2019. Charmed horn? Yeah, we'll take that. Yeah, we'll take that. We'll let the you know what? Let's do this. He's gonna come out of the sky. Or he's gonna, boom. Hey, watch it. That'll just slow him down a little bit. He's still gonna take it eventually, but that'll be okay. And then yeah. So I feel like if you didn't have all these middle persons doing all the service work, you're still gonna have to, these restaurants and these grocery stores are still gonna have to hire people to do all that work anyway. Oh, that sucks. Is this even doing enough damage? I don't know. It's not really. In fact, it's probably hurting me, so I'm just going to do this. We already have a synergy with the R. What does that say? Rocket? I don't think this is doing much damage. Actually, it might be. Oh, I didn't hit it on time. I hit it too early. I hit it too early, man. Sometimes you can't hit it too early because things go bad. Hey, we did it. We got hit, so we didn't get the master round, but that's okay. Treadnought sucks. Treadnought's one of those bosses that absolutely becomes an issue very quickly. And we have the Gun Knight armor, which means we're going to have a good amount of armor for a while. We're going to go back to the bullet. We're gonna take, we're at 138. We actually might be able to afford this. 126, yeah, dude. We have now probably one of the best early boss weapons, which means this next boss should be okay. Now we have 4 blanks. I keep forgetting to use the blanks. So let's just use them now. We'll just go in places like the chest rooms often have them. The entry or the exit elevator often has it. And there it is. There's a chest room right there. And then we get a free chest. It's a brown chest, but it's a free chest. It means we get the machine pistol, and I'm just gonna fall down the hole. Don't worry about it. All good. I actually didn't even need to do that. I could have just teleported out. Don't worry about it. Don't worry about it. We're gonna move on. You know, I do stupid stuff like that. That's okay. Machine pistol. We're probably gonna use the machine pistol for the next floor. It's the 4th floor. It shouldn't be too terrible. Let me caffeinate real quick. If I'm talking too fast, please leave in the comments. I'll slow down. I definitely try to get too many thoughts out. I think it has a lot to do with the fact that I plan things in my head, and I want all those things to come out in one video. But then I sit here and I go, well, I'm gonna probably record a couple different videos in a day. Maybe I should save some of these topics for the next video. And then you guys probably know that about me, and you sit there and you're like, well, we want to hear all the things you want to talk about because we're impatient. I get it. I'm impatient. I'm impatient with all kinds of things. 54 to 60. Let's see. We didn't use. We used R. Let's go ahead and just reload this. We've been using it already. Why not? Why not? This thing goes through bullets anyway. And we got the Mac 10. Mac 10. Mac 10. Riptech 9. No, Mac Miller. Who died this year? Who died in the year 2018? Lots of people. I know that. But one of the... Was it Mac Miller? Mac Miller's been dead for a little bit, hasn't he? I don't remember. These are all like people that I should really absolutely know. And I was trying to have a conversation about movies with Katie earlier, and I couldn't even remember Bruce Willis's name. I couldn't remember Jeff Goldblum's name. I couldn't remember all these different names. It was actually kind of ridiculous. I don't know what it is. It's sometimes there's just you probably know. There's these days that you just forget words and names and all that stuff. I have a bad time with names too, and it goes with everybody. There's a lot of people that I know and watch and stuff like that, and when I see them in person, I don't know if I freeze up. I don't know if I just don't feel like talking that day, or just my brain's just like, nope, you're gonna automatically just be awkward, and we're not gonna care about it. You're just gonna be awkward. We're gonna be fine, and you're gonna forget all these names. So have fun with it. See ya, Dan. Me and Brain and Heart are going to be over in the corner here, just worrying about whatever the heck we want to worry about. And you can do whatever the heck you want to do. Well, what if I need you, Heart and Brain? No, it doesn't matter. We're going to leave you. We're just going to bounce. It's not even going to matter anymore. It happens all the time. That's why I don't go out and talk to people. Like, right? We moved down here to San Diego. I was like, oh, okay. I guess it's not a big deal. I didn't really know too many people anyway, where I was going to college and stuff like that. I had a few college buddies. But for the most part, my college life was mostly, hey, I'm gonna go to school, I'm gonna come home and work. I worked at one company for most of my college days, and then I started streaming around my junior and senior year. And then I exited and then actually took it like far more serious. I always took it serious. I always took streaming serious, but it was always like, oh, now I have time to do all these things. I don't really have a job anymore. I quit my job to actually focus on streaming, which I enjoyed. I definitely, well, I had other jobs. I had like odd jobs and ends by writing strategy guides for Prima Games and Brady Games and stuff like that. So those existed and whatnot. But it was always one of those things where it was always still strange for me to not have a job for such a long time. And streaming was doing all right, but it was never one of those things that was going to sustain itself, and I never really knew it was going to sustain itself. I never even thought it's still today. Like, it's one of those, I'm living one of the most volatile jobscapes in the world, which is basically working for entertaining people, because the entertainment industry is cool and all. It's a bunch of glitz and glamour, but it's one of the most stressful things I've ever had to do, because you're like, oh, you don't know if you're gonna get paid next month. Granted, it's worked out. Like, don't get me wrong. I love what I do because it's worked out for sure. But it's definitely one of those things where you're like, this actually might not work out because I don't know if I'm gonna get paid next month. I know I'm gonna get paid, just not how much. Is it gonna be enough to pay the rent? Probably. But you never know. Anyway, I don't want to talk about that. Let's not talk about that. That's not what this is for. Who knows? I may, when you're listening to this, son, I may be dead. All this YouTube series is gonna be is just me talking to my my children that don't have a dad anymore because I jumped off a cliff on accident, not on purpose. Like I never do it on purpose or anything. I'm not suicidal by any means, but maybe I did it on accident because I am kind of a klutz. I mean, a lot of us are, right? Sometimes just don't pay attention to what's going on. I'm a bit klutzy. So I feel like, you think about it. You put it in your mind. You go step up to an edge. I'm sure lots of people know what I'm talking about here. You step up to an edge and you're like, in your head, like you're not actually doing this. It's like the Grand Canyon or something. I have this dream all the time. Dream all the time where it's the Grand Canyon. And I'm like, oh, this is an edge here. There's nothing stopping me from just jumping off. It's not because like I want to. I don't. But in your dream or in your head, you're like, oh, well, this doesn't seem good. This doesn't seem like a good idea at all, but I'm still going to do it. And it's not like anybody can stop me or anything can stop me. It just kind of happens. You know, I feel like that's an issue. Actually, we got enough guns now. We have no more keys though. So we might just pop these open. Let's go see what comes out of this thing here. What boss are we fighting? Oh, this is not gonna be good. The High Priest is not a fun one. She's very difficult. Oh, okay. Happens for not moving all the time. Okay, we're just gonna bounce these on the wall. Hopefully it just keeps damaging it. This should be working. It doesn't seem like it's doing a ton of damage, but it should be fine. We've got tons of blanks. We just use them all. I don't know what I got hit by. Apparently a bullet that I just didn't see. That's one thing about the super meat gun, is it definitely blocks a lot of your screen, thus not helping you figure out how to dodge everything. Yep. Keep it going. I don't know what their timer is either. I don't know. They probably bounce off a certain amount of walls. Probably gonna run out of ammo too. What am I keep getting hit by? Oh, it's the things coming off the walls. That's exactly what it is. And then I just dodged the wrong way on that one. It's okay. We'll move on. We'll still beat this guy. In fact, we still might even destroy the run. This is not a totally cursed run. Just because we missed 2 of the master rounds. It's totally not a cursed run. We actually might be okay. We'll reload that. We'll get this. Actually, this means we have both the Void Rifle, Void Core Assault Rifle, and the Void Shotgun. So we have a good synergy here. In fact, we have a lot of synergies in this one. Let's go ahead and pop this. Ooh, Master of Unlocking. Play well, get keys. Well, it's not going to help for this one, but that would have helped early. At Play well, get keys. There's one floor left. And that's an explosion, which means nothing. Let's see. So let's pop here. Let's see if we can pop this one. Nothing. All right, let's go. I've worked at many different jobs where that kind of mentality sank in too, because there's those things that you gotta. I mean, I think every human. I don't think I'm unique in this way, but I like to be challenged. And I get bored if I'm not challenged. And there's many jobs where I just sat at a desk or walked around in a store and did almost nothing. At least it felt like I did nothing. You know, when you work in, you work in a I worked in a hardware store. I worked in a fast food joint. Well, it was a pizza place. I call it a fast food joint, but it was a pizza place. Back where I went to college. It was one of my first jobs, actually. And where I met a lot of my good friends that I had for a long time. I still have them. I'm sure they don't watch or do anything and hang out with me anymore. Well, I mean, I guess they don't hang out with me, obviously, because I don't live near them anymore. But I feel like that we still know each other. We still cordial and whatnot. We still cordial. You hear what I said that? But at the same time, you're like, well, that was almost like they were adult friends. I feel like you don't really lose too many adult friends in your lifetime. I don't know how that works with most people. I don't know how most friendships work. I feel like I destroy most of my friendships just by who I am, which makes me think, am I the bad guy? I don't think so, but you never know. You never know if you're the bad guy, unless you're like super uber self-aware. But yeah, I've worked in many jobs where you just kind of do nothing, and you know that you're doing a service for somebody, and whether that's like, you know, you're helping a big company make money, whether they're a conglomerate or not, you're making them a bunch of money by just being there and being a worker. But at the same time, a lot of those jobs and places, I've always sat there and be like, I can just be easily replaced. Why doesn't somebody just replace me? I'm not doing anything. Like, why doesn't somebody who can actually care about this more just replace me? And I started, you know, making videos and you know, streaming and stuff like that. And I felt like I was putting forth an effort in the world. And I sit here all the time and I'm like, well, I'm literally just playing games. I think people like it. I hope people like it. If they don't, then, well, that's your fault. Why do you keep watching them? Why do you keep paying attention to me? And that's where everybody turns off the video. I know we've all had those jobs. I know we've all been there. I'm sure most of us are still in there. Most of us are still in those jobs. We're like, oh, I'm doing nothing at this job. What am I doing? And I personally think that unless you're like actually doing something that is a service to the world or a service to the community, you should probably find something that makes you happier. Because like, even if you're made a little bit unhappy, if you're doing like a big service to the society by whether you're, you know, a janitor or a what do they call them? A trash agent. Sounds like a bad 007 agent. What I mean is like a waste management technician. Is that what they're called? People that drive around the garbage trucks? The people that we used to call garbage men. But it's garbage men and women. And I think the word garbage men maybe comes off differently, but then again, I'm not a waste technician. So I can't tell you whether or not that actually is offensive or not. I just don't want to be offensive. Because it's like, I sit here all the time, like, I don't need to be liked by everybody, but I don't want to be hated by most, at least. Please don't let me be hated by most people. That's probably my main goal. I'll take everything else. I'll take not being liked. That's fine. But I don't want to be hated. So I don't want to come off as offensive. You're a trash person. Oh God, that sounds terrible. Because I'm probably going to use the term trash person often in this series, because we're going to talk about good and bad people all the time. And some of them are trash people. And what I mean is not waste technicians. I don't want people to think that I'm talking, hey, those waste management technicians are terrible human beings, and I think they should go die in a dumpster fire. As ironic as that might be. Oh, I'm on fire? Didn't realize. I don't mean that. I don't mean that. If you're a waste management technician and I keep offending you by saying those words, please don't hate me. Let's see. Flame hand. Can't afford. 48. We have 48. 32, 48. We can buy a full heart. There we go. Alright, sounds good. We just need to find the dragon and we should be good. Kaboom, 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 kaboom. Rocket pow. Alright, I think we are good. Here's the dragon. Let's see, what are we using in here? Super meat gun, maybe? Kind of just want to use the void assault rifle because we'll have two things going. I should have used this in a room. This might not even be great damage. Oh, that's right, it does this too. This actually might be terrible. So we're gonna go ahead and I guess use the little bomber. It might be good damage here. We'll use a blank on that because I don't think that part is like super hard to avoid. The ones where they come down on the sides like that. I don't know how to do that. If you guys have a trick for that, I would love to hear it. I just got hit. Oh, I just got hit again. Usually good there, but I was paying attention to the guys and the knives on the sides, and not the dude shooting a giant RPG at my face. And we don't have a spacebar item or a special item, cooldown item, whatever it's called. Spacebar items from Isaac. We're not doing actually any damage here. A cooldown item that does anything for the boss, because everything's gonna be pretty terrible here. We've got more than enough health. We should be totally fine. Does this do anything? All right. Oh, Mahogany. I totally forgot about Mahogany. This will be fine. We're taking a bunch of damage here. This is terrible. But we'll be fine. We should be almost done. Let's thread the needle. Thread the needle. Yeah, we're good. All right, this part's gonna suck. Oh, I rolled into it. I rolled absolutely into it. That was terrible. It's okay, because I was kind of out of stuff to talk about. For this time, I have tons of stuff to talk about, but when we come against all those different things that were just absolutely, I was totally mind flooded. I should have been fine, but for our first run, we made it pretty far. Anyway, if you enjoyed the video, please like, subscribe, do all the things. Catch us live over on twitch.tv/Danotage every single night, 8 p.m. I will be gone for the 2nd, 3rd, and 4th of the new year. But if you're here after that, come follow us. We play a lot of Gungeon there. Anyway, have a good one. I'll see you later. Bye bye.